Hey folks, CJ here with another music review of the new Descendents single, this time, Victim of Me. Let's get going. This song is short, so let's make this short. The song's only 1 minute and 37 seconds long, which is true to classic punk tradition. I don't think anyone looked at that song length and went, oh no, this can't do, it's too short. If anything, they went, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right. The guitar kicks in immediately. You don't have to wait for it. It just comes blazing in. And something that really struck me right off the bat is the guitar melody instantly reminded me of Rise Above by Black Flag, which really shouldn't surprise anyone because Bill Stevenson, who's the principal songwriter and drummer of the Descendents, recorded with Black Flag, so I don't think that's too shocking, quite honestly. And when we're talking about punk rock, it tends to be a pretty simplistic thing by nature, by style, and by preference. So if there are similarities between two popular punk songs, I don't think anyone goes, hey, let's sue. At least I hope not, because that wouldn't make much sense. Moving on. Let's talk about Milo's vocals. They're more aggressive than they were on the last album, Cool to Be You. Cool to Be You is more of a pop punk album that I think was closer to the descendants of the Descendents, so to speak, the bands that were inspired by them. It had more of the sort of vibe that would belong in a Blink-182 fans collection. But interestingly, the album addressed some more adult themes and topics like politics, for example, the single American, and also coming to grips with aging. That's a big theme on the album, and knowing that teenage romance is sort of a thing of the past because, whether you like it or not, you got older, and a lot of the songs seem to be about more developed and adult relationships and commitment. That sort of thing. Oh, scary. Who thought a Descendants album would ever be about that stuff? The commitment? And, yeah, well, we could debate that back and forth. A lot of the early songs are kind of goofy when it comes to relationships by design, and that's part of what makes an album like Milo Goes to College endearing. But I think that in some of the songs, it's clear that Milo is looking for a more developed relationship but doesn't quite know how to get there. And then by the time we get to Cool to Be You, he's there, and a lot of the songs are about trying to sustain a relationship, which is interesting because apparently his marriage was going very well, as he pointed out in interviews. So it's interesting that he helped write these songs about marital strife when his marriage was going just fine. So the lyrics of the song begin with, I just quit this joke of a life plan, it won't get me nowhere, no. I'm a fear-driven service robot, a spectacle of a man with no options. And instead of just like coming to grips with adult life, it's like something re-woke, something woke up, and the sound itself is raw, though the production is modern and I guess I'll say professional. It's more of a polished pop punk production, but the music itself, you can tell the guitar sound rather, is a little rawer, so it's paradoxically polished and raw. It's like the guitar is telling you, I want to be raw, and the production's like, well, this is a big band that has money, and maybe they're not as rich as Green Day or The Offspring or Blink, but or whoever else, Good Charlotte. Now I'm just throwing names out, but you could tell this is a band with a little bit of money, making a song with more of a classic California punk rock approach. And I feel like if you take some of that classic Descendants attitude and added some of that, again, more polished, melodic sort of thing that we heard on Everything Sucks, what a lovely name for an album, that's kind of where we're at with Victim of Me. So, bottom line, cool track. Looking forward to the full-length album. Speaking of cool album names, Hypercaphium Spazonate. I mean, who could say no to that? That's going to drop relatively soon, July 29th. I'm looking forward to picking up that album. And this review has gone on longer. It's almost gone on for 5 minutes. This review's gone on quite a bit longer than the song itself. So thanks for listening. See you guys.